Asmongold's reaction to Ollie Dobson's TikTok was less of a thoughtful dive into feminism and more of a speedrun through male insecurity bingo. It's impressive, really. Within minutes, he managed to reduce decades of feminist theory into a Reddit thread titled, "Why Women Don't Like Me, and It's Their Fault." With the finesse of someone who probably thinks Simone de Beauvoir is a Fortnite skin, he interpreted Ollie's point that some young men are growing hostile toward feminism, not as an opportunity to self-reflect or analyze systemic issues, but as a green light to vent his own simmering grievances with modern women. The video operates on the familiar Asmongold formula, a vaguely informed opinion delivered with maximal certainty and zero citations, all under the guise of just being honest. He seems genuinely baffled that Gen Z might not resonate with the same third-wave feminism he never studied, but somehow knows everything about. His attempt to frame feminism as exclusionary because it sometimes critiques harmful masculinity is like calling your doctor judgmental because they told you to stop eating microwaved bacon for every meal. If the movement critiques toxic behaviors, maybe the takeaway isn't that feminism is hostile. It's that you might have some unexamined behavior worth, examining. But the real kicker is how proudly out of touch the whole take is. The video, now a year old, has aged like milk left in a gaming chair, while younger creators are actively working to build a nuanced intersectional conversation about gender. Asmongold is still stuck wondering why women stopped clapping for basic decency. He doesn't engage with feminist thinkers, doesn't cite data, and doesn't ask why so many men feel isolated. He just assumes the problem must be the women. It's a kind of intellectual laziness disguised as contrarianism, and it leaves his audience not enlightened, but comfortably numb in their own echo chamber. This wasn't commentary, it was a monologue from the back of a gamer cave, full of half-baked critiques and the kind of real talk that only sounds deep if you've never cracked a book with the word gender in the title. And while Asmongold's charisma makes it entertaining, let's not mistake that for insight. He's not offering answers. He's just giving apathy a microphone. Want a more educational add-on that breaks down the actual feminist points he missed? One of the most fundamental misunderstandings Asmongold perpetuates is the idea that feminism somehow seeks to oppress or sideline men. In reality, feminism has long argued that the patriarchy is harmful to everyone. It's not just women who are boxed into narrow roles, men are too. Toxic masculinity, stoicism, emotional repression, and the provider complex are all expectations that feminism critiques and seeks to dismantle for men's own liberation. But Asmongold treats these critiques like personal attacks, rather than opportunities for self-awareness or growth. It's not feminism that alienates men, it's men who resist rethinking masculinity. Asmongold hints at the male loneliness epidemic, suggesting that feminism or modern dating standards are the culprits. This ignores mountains of research showing that social isolation among men stems from systemic failures, declining social cohesion, economic precarity, lack of mental health support, and yes, the very gender norms that discourage emotional vulnerability and platonic intimacy among men. Feminism doesn't cause this crisis. It offers one of the few ideological frameworks that actually addresses it, by encouraging men to value emotional intelligence, seek community, and let go of the performative alpha nonsense. When Asmongold critiques feminism, he does so like he's reviewing a failed game patch. This update ruined the whole thing. But feminism is not a product or a singular ideology. It's a dynamic, often contested field of thought with internal debates, generational shifts, and diverse global perspectives. You can't collapse bell hooks, Emma Watson, and TikTok activists into one unified group and say, feminism says this. Doing so is like blaming all of YouTube for one bad video essay. It's reductionist and intellectually lazy. Engaging with actual feminist literature might have helped, but that would require reading something without loot boxes. Asmongold also falls into the common trap of interpreting gender equality to mean everyone should be treated exactly the same, regardless of context. But feminism argues for equity, acknowledging systemic disparities and addressing them accordingly. Saying men and women should both work hard and be respected ignores the structural barriers women and trans non-binary people face, from wage gaps and gendered violence to underrepresentation in leadership. Pretending those don't exist isn't being fair, it's willful ignorance dressed as neutrality. Finally, there's the thinly veiled resentment that bubbles up in Asmongold's tone, the idea that feminism has made dating harder for men. The truth is, feminism didn't make women picky, it made them empowered. And now, some men are shocked that women no longer tolerate bad behavior, emotional immaturity, or power imbalances. It's not that women don't want to date men, it's that they want to date better men. That's not oppression, that's standards. And if that feels threatening, maybe it's not the ideology that needs to change.